Hello and welcome back to our Glass Cannon series. Yeah, I said it in the first episode it was going to be more of like a hardcore thing, and I guess maybe you could kind of see that it is a bit of a hardcore experience. I don't know. Yeah, it kind of is, I guess, because we're going to die really fast. Anyway, we're going to be going into the arena here because I would very much like to win a tournament. I know. Probably not gonna happen, let's face it. I do not have the greatest skills in the world, and there is a noble here, among other things, like an Imperial Legionary, Imperial Palatine Guard, and so on and so forth. It's gonna be a little bit difficult, but I'm only spending 500 gold, so if it looks as though I am completely out of my depth, then it's not gonna be that bad, right? Oh, it's a one-handed. Why did they give me a one-handed? I don't know why, but I guess I'm going to try my best. Oh, it's actually working. Oh, it actually worked. What? How did that happen? Okay, I have no idea. I have 26 in one-handed weapon proficiency. I have no clue how I was able to achieve victory there, but anyway, let's continue on to the next round. I've now spent 1,000 gold, so it's getting even more likely then I must win this. If I do not win, then 1,000 gold has been wasted for nothing. Ooh, okay, not too bad, not too bad. Alright, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Alright, so obviously the noble is going to get through. We are up against... oh dear. Yes, we are up against an Imperial Legionary. Thankfully, they continue to give me a one-handed sword and a shield. Oh, okay, this guy has no idea what he's doing. He really has no idea what he's doing, but we are now up against the noble, and this is where things are going to get much more difficult. Okay, here we go. Okay, apparently not. Apparently not. That was incredibly easy in comparison to what I would have expected, but there you go. We did get some decorated plate boots. Personally, I'm probably not going to be using these plate boots because I would like to kind of stay kind of low in terms of my weight. Because you could see here, this is the total equipped armor and weapon weight. I am going to attempt, if I can, to stay below 15, maybe to stay below 20, dependent on what I actually find and pick up along the way. Maybe I'm going to be purchasing something a little bit later on as well. But actually, let me take a look and see. These are not that more... I mean, they're not that weighty, right? They're not that weighty, so I'm gonna put them on. I mean, it kind of makes sense. We are wearing some really weird armor at the moment. I mean, look at his gloves with his chest piece and his headpiece and his boots. They are a fashion statement and a half, aren't they? Yes, they really are making a huge difference. Anyway, we can now put this guy over here. We have no saddles for him. This is a guy that I picked up, by the way. I don't know whether you saw that, but I picked him up. And he is indeed a person that is a surgeon. Yes, he is actually a surgeon, which is really quite fantastic, because that means that I will then be able to have less problems in regards to our forces actually surviving in these battles. So hopefully we're going to be able to do that. Caravan ambush. I'm going to see whether we can actually achieve this. Apparently he says yes. I'm a little bit worried about this, to be honest, because caravan ambush is usually something that might be a bit too difficult for me at the moment, but let's see what we can do. So I'm going to go for deflect right here, which increases the handling of my one-handed, which is always nice. 1 renown and 1 influence for each issue resolved. Every time you defeat an enemy lord party, you gain 1 relation with a random notable of your faction. Increase influence gain from... yeah, I think we're going to increase influence gain from battles, personally. And then we're going to go for increased maneuvering of our mount, even though we're probably not going to be using one for that much longer. At least I think so. Okay, so obviously, as I said before, we're not going to be speccing into Steward, Medicine, or Engineering. I will be speccing this other point into Charm, however, and then putting another point into Social. That seems good enough for me. And I have also done a little bit of customization of our noble troop line. So you can see here we have the Berserker noble line. So basically what is going to happen with them is it's basically going to be starting with Berserker recruits. They'll go into sergeants, they'll go into veterans, then they'll go into elites, and then they'll go into nobles. And nobles will be the best, as you can quite clearly tell. So they are going to be really, really good. Tier 6 is the final level of those, and they are a two-handed weapon troop line. Because this is actually a suggestion from one of you in the comments, and I thought to myself, actually, that seems pretty cool. And they do have some very light armor on as well, so they are, of course, not going to be extremely well armored or anything like that. They're going to be very easy to kill, so they're still going to maintain the theme of glass cannon. And hopefully we're going to be able to, I mean, this is going to be a little bit difficult because obviously we're going to very much try to maintain an army, but it's going to be difficult to do that when they are glass cannons. When all of them are glass cannons, it's going to be very difficult because they're all going to get themselves killed very quickly, and it's going to result in some rather interesting situations. Anyway, the surgeon guy, he's going to... I don't even know what he's going to do, to be honest, but I guess I'll just put him with the archers at the moment. I don't really want him to die, so obviously that's kind of a big thing, you know. If we make sure that he survives, then that's obviously going to be kind of good. But let's see if I can... Oh, nice headshot. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to tell my guys to charge in. Okay, we can get a couple of kills here. Obviously, bear in mind that my experience gain has been reduced from previous series, so we're not going to be seeing massive amounts of level ups for 1 kill or 2 kills in these early levels. It's going to take me a lot longer to level up in that regard, and I'm going to need to be much more on the ball in that fashion as well. So in other words, I need to get many more kills to be able to gain the same amount of skill. Nice, there we go. I'm hoping to get to 175 in this particular battle if I can. Seems like my forces are doing a perfectly acceptable job against these mounted ransackers, but to be fair, the mounted ransackers really do not have a huge amount of fighting strength, as they are usually, after the first initial charge, very disjointed, very scattered, and as a result, many of our forces are going to be able to pick them off without too many difficulties at all. And as a result, we also have the ability to take all of these guys prisoner, and we have more and more loot. And there we have it. Nice. A very quick, very easy battle, and we will now be able to level up some more of our forces here. And we do have that manual labor... no, we didn't. Oh, we did the manual labor request. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah, so we apparently already did that. Okay. So, oh, well, that's kind of unfortunate, you know? That's kind of unfortunate. Oh, yeah, also, I wanted to do something. Bruce. Okay. We're going to edit his appearance. He's going to be a woman. Yes, I know. Let's just give her some hair, and there we are. Okay, so he is now a woman, because a lot of people actually said that maybe it would make sense for us to have just a complete female faction, a female-focused faction, and I thought to myself, actually, that seems like a pretty fun idea. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I have no idea what to call him now, so Brucina. That's kind of stupid, isn't it? I feel like that is kind of stupid. Okay, you know what? Put it down in the comments. Any name suggestions you have, put it down in the comments. I think there were a couple of people that actually suggested some names already, but I personally would like something a little bit better than that. I mean, not your suggestions, but a little bit better than what I have currently given him as a name. I think it's, well, given her as a name, shall we say, because I personally feel like this is just... it's a little bit like, really, you know? It's obviously just a shall we say, I don't know, like the female version of Bruce, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't really suit him. Does it? Does it? I don't know. Doesn't really suit him, maybe. Well, anyway, this guy actually has another caravan ambush, so let me see whether we can do that. I think we will be able to, but I would very much, if we can achieve victory here again, which I think is very likely at this point, but if we can achieve victory again, I would like to be able to do the manual labor quest. If we can actually get the manual labor quest again. Wait a minute. They're fighting forest bandits. Okay, these guys are going to be super easy for us to kill. They're the same. They're basically the same exact group that we fought before, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I can tell my archers to charge in right here. Tell these guys to hold position. Actually, you know what? Do I even want them to charge in? We barely have any infantry at the moment. That actually reminds me, I do need to continue recruiting people as much as I possibly can, because when I'm running around like this, I am going to inevitably lose Yes, I am going to inevitably lose people, of course, but we do need to be a little bit careful about that in general, because, well, glass cannons and everything, they're going to die very quickly, but you also have to bear in mind that I need to replenish our noble units' ranks quite a lot more often than our ranged units, because obviously our ranged units are going to be standing far away from the fight itself. They're going to have a much higher rate of survival as a result of that. And so it's going to be more difficult to keep the berserkers alive. So I guess that's a bit more of a... I think that's actually better, to be honest, for a more hardcore focus of the series as well, because let's just say that these, you know, these melee units, they're just going to be very strong, because obviously the amount of skill points that you get available to you to distribute to the various skills, they are much more prevalent. They are absolutely abundant in comparison to the ranged units or the regular common units that you can recruit. And as a result, my berserker units, they actually have massive amounts of two-handed skill and massive amounts of athletic skill, because obviously I gave them a two-handed. And I think that actually gives them a good amount of balance. Having less of them in my army is going to generally make it a lot more painful when a lot of them die. So I think in general that actually is quite in keeping with the theme of the series as well. So I'm actually quite liking what we're doing with that. Anyway, let's see what else Lagata has for us. Actually, betting fraud. Yes, we know about that one. There seems to be a task over here. I'm actually wondering, they need help with brigands. Actually, maybe that would make sense. Maybe it would make sense for me to do that. Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's just go ahead and do that. We can very quickly just hunt down 2 bands of brigands for this guy. It's going to be super, super fast, and we can hopefully level up some more of our troops in the process. I had hoped, because it was an iron ore village, that they might be a manual laborer task available there, but no, obviously not. Not in this case. There we go. Okay, I'm not hopefully going to get a surprise and then get a random defeat out of nowhere. This time around, at least. There we go. So we've hunted 1, and I believe we're actually done. Yep, we're actually done because we completed both at the same time. There was a task actually available at Gersagos Castle as well, but I assume it was actually part of a vassal's task, and he has now moved on, so obviously I'm not going to be able to do anything with him now. Okay, so let me just take a quick look here. I have leveled up once again, so I suppose what I'll do is, well, I have leveled up my steward skill, hilariously enough, so I guess what I'm going to do is literally just put a perk in that, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to put another point in social, I guess. I mean, I would like to level up my charm skill. Charm skill is going to be one of the very most important skills that I have in this series, because that's basically one of the only extracurricular skill trees that I'm going to have access to, because otherwise I'm basically just concentrating on combat skills pretty much all the time. So that is definitely going to come in handy. There's another tournament going on here at Epicrotia. It might actually make sense for me to participate in it. So let me just wait until daytime, and then let's head in and see what I can do. There are 2 nobles present. For some reason in the previous tournament, I just got completely murdered. Not the one in this one, but the one in the first episode that we did. I just got murdered almost instantaneously, whereas in the one that we did in this episode at the beginning, That was much easier. I suppose it's because I had a one-handed and a shield in comparison to having a two-handed, and I suppose the two-handed that they gave me was very unwieldy, especially when I have such a small amount of weapon skill in that. It really makes a huge difference. It really does. Nice. Good damage, good damage. And there we have it. Not too bad, not too bad. And wow, we can actually join the next round already. I actually thought there was going to be some other round going on here. Thankfully, they're not giving me the bow either. Although, actually, I wouldn't mind using the bow, because that is going to give me a little bit of extra skill here and there. And hopefully we can eliminate some of these lords, so I don't have to fight them in the final round. Oh, this is a lord. Oh dear. This might be problematic. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. Fantastic. That was pretty easy. And now, oh dear. Yup, he actually got through. This is going to be a bit painful. Oh, no, he didn't get through. What? Oh, maybe this is the penultimate round. And I just misread that. I think he did get through, and he is going to be in the final round by the looks of things. Yeah, he is indeed in the final round. This is going to be a bit painful, I think, because he seems to have some pretty high weapon skills. I'm going to go for a thrust to begin. Never mind. Yeah, usually I can't really get the thrusts in any other time. Oh, I did that time. Nice. Oh, that was a nice head slash right there. Or technically it's blunt damage, so I guess you could call it a head bash. But there we are, nice. That is not too bad, and we also gained some shoulder pads. I quite desperately need some shoulder pads, I believe. Yes, indeed. I'm using a shoulder harness at the moment, and this is going to give me a massive, massive increase in armor. And bear in mind, we are still underneath 15. I still am unsure whether we're going to go for 15 or 20 total weight encumbrance, because on the one hand, I'd very much like to have a two-handed weapon, and at the moment I'm using a shield and a very small one-handed axe, and as a result I feel like we have a much, shall we say, lighter loadout than we would otherwise have if we were to have a two-handed. I'm not entirely sure. Let me actually just have a look here. Maybe there's going to be a two-handed available here. It's going to be highly unlikely, right? I mean, I can get an axe, but do I really want to use an axe? Not particularly. I would very much prefer to use a sword, because a sword is usually much faster, much easier to use, and I don't know, maybe I should just bite the bullet. Should I just bite the bullet? Maybe I should. I would very much like to use a two-handed mace, but there aren't any, unfortunately. The only one that you can really get is a sledgehammer, and that is just absolutely awful. Really is pretty terrible. Okay, yeah, we're gonna buy this axe. I can't believe I'm saying that right now, but we are going to buy this axe, and we're going to unequip the shield, because this is indeed the glass cannon series, so why not? And there we have it. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so otherwise, let me take a look and see if I can maybe find the manual laborer quest. It's going to be a bit difficult for me to do so, I think. There's a lot of tasks around here, but I don't... they need help with brigands again. I should be able to do that pretty easily once more, as there are a lot of bandit parties in and around the area, so let's do it. 3 bandit parties. Are these all marked? Yep, these are all marked, so let's just fight this guy real fast. That's going to be a super, super easy victory for us, and then we can just continue onward. Oh, apparently they were able to escape me relatively easily. Yeah, that actually reminds me, I should probably head down to Azurai territory, head to Khuzait territory, or somewhere where I can actually get some pretty decent deals on horses, because at the moment my horse population in my inventory is just abysmal. It really is making everything much more difficult for us, because I'm moving much slower on the world map, and generally getting to those most important places is taking a little bit too long, in my opinion. So it would be quite nice for me to get that fixed. Okay, I'm gonna die. Yes. Oh my, that is actually quite some damage. Okay. Oh, wow, really? They actually got me. They actually got me. I'm really surprised about that, to be honest. I actually thought to myself, I'm gonna survive. At least if I had, you know, just a sliver of HP remaining, then I could say that I definitely lived through it. But, yeah, not this time. Not this time around. Is my companion still okay, by the way? I have not seen him in a while. No, he's doing fine. He is just not getting any kills, which is a bit strange, but okay. Never mind. Alright, so I can take a bunch of these, that's actually fine, and we've got some new loot as well, and we were able to complete the task, so I suppose that's all that really matters at the end of the day. And we can now give him some better gear. That actually reminds me I need to give him a shield. And does he have any thrown weapon skill, by the way? Yes, he does have thrown weapon skill, so I suppose I will be giving him these javelins. Bit strange to see a doctor with throwing weapon proficiency, but I suppose he's pretty happy to do that. I mean, let's face it, throwing weapons are super fun. Oh, there is actually a village right here where I can buy some horses. Wow, these are way too expensive. What? What is going on? What is going on with those guys? They literally had some of the most expensive horses that I have ever seen. That is a bit too much for my liking. Thank you very much. I will now head on to Saniopa. Let me see what else they have here. Rival gang moving in. Yeah, that's not going to be something that I'm interested in at the moment. Thank you, sir. And anything else that I can really get here? No, it doesn't seem like it. 2,400 for our loot. I have 15,000 now. Technically, I could get a caravan, but as I said before, we're probably not going to be... actually, should we do trade skill? Should I do trade skill? I don't know whether that's going to be worth it, because if I do trade skill, it's going to trivialize a lot of the late game, and I'm not sure if you... I don't know whether you really appreciate that most of the time. Generally, everything has a price is definitely one of the most fun perks to get, but it's also one of those that, as I say, makes a lot of things much simpler to accomplish, and maybe that is something that you don't really want to see with this kind of series. I don't know, because generally if I were to conquer everything, I think that would be a lot more difficult, because there are definitely going to be some places that are just impossible for me to take without suffering many casualties, and maybe that's something that you're wanting to see. I don't know, especially because it's a glass cannon series. We're going to have a lot of people dying almost every single battle in the late game. Alright, so we've got 2 focus points, 1 attribute point, because I didn't spend my focus points before, so I'm going to see what can I do. What is a personal skill? This is a personal skill. So leadership is personal, it increases the morale of our party. Tactics is also personal, so maybe I should do tactics. I haven't done tactics in quite some time, so maybe it would make sense for me to do that. Yeah, I think we might do that, because you can see right here, steward is the quartermaster thing, medicine is the surgeon thing, engineering is the engineering thing, and then scouting is the scouting thing. Obviously, scout is, you know, a role that you can choose in the party screen, and tactics is more of a personal thing. So I'm thinking we'll probably just spec in tactics a little bit here, and I do have 1 attribute point to spend, so I'm actually going to spec into vigor. Now that I have a 2-handed axe, I would like to maybe make use of it. So hopefully we can level up our 2-handed skill somewhat with this quest, maybe. With this quest, let me see. 3 bandits. Okay, 3 bands of bandits. That should be easy enough. Oh, that's actually a pretty significant group of them. And if I can get 2 of them at the same time, that would be fantastic. Why am I moving so slowly? I really have no idea. Maybe it's the herd problem or something. Maybe I need to lighten the load, or maybe I need to, as I say, try and find a village with some pretty significant discounts on horses. I'm thinking I'll probably head to near McKeb. Usually McKeb has a village nearby that might have some good discounts on horses, so I might be able to get some good deals there. Anyway, let me move my archers into a nice position so that they can do some good damage, and hopefully I'm not going to die this time around. They're throwing... yeah. Yeah, these guys are really annoying. For some reason, fighting on horseback has always been a huge weakness for me in Bannerlord. I don't know why that is. Usually it should be the easiest thing that you can do apart from fighting with a polearm, but for some reason I'm always having difficulties with it. I don't know why. Especially when they are able to hit me with a very short 2-handed mace. Don't know how they're able to do that. It's just me being bad at positioning, I suppose. And there you go, there's a victory. Okay, so we were able to gain two-handed skill at least a little bit. Obviously, as you can see right here, the leveling speed is dramatically reduced from previous series. As I said, I have reduced it by 75%. So we are definitely going to be seeing our own character take a lot longer to level up to get to those really, really powerful points. And hopefully that's going to be something that you will like, because obviously to some people, that, you know, the previous series might have been a bit too quick for us to get power. Anyway, there we are. That is nicely done. Let's go over to that village, which I believe is over here. Yes, Esme, as well as, I think, Kuruluk, as well as Asalig. Both of these, or should we say 3 of these, very, very good for horse deals. And so hopefully I'll be able to get some on the cheap, as I do have, I do have a pretty significant amount of cash. I should really continue looking for the manual laborer quest as well. Let me see. No, they need draft animals. Okay. Yeah, let's just continue onward then, I suppose. I mean, we could always recruit some units from here as well. I think that generally, My Little Warband is such a powerful mod because it does allow you to pretty much recruit from anywhere on the map, because you have the ability to pretty much just go to any village and recruit your own units, the units that you've made painstakingly through the unit manager, and you can just recruit them from anywhere. It's really quite amazing. Needs help with brigands. Probably not going to do that one, but I will be taking some of these, and I will be buying some more of these as well. Oh, Steppe Warhorse. Yeah, these are really, really cheap. Super nice. Prisoners are slowing me down. Fording? What is fording? I don't know what fording is. Oh, crossing a river, I assume, right? Crossing a river? Something like that? I have no idea, but I'm going to be continuing to buy some horses from these ones. These ones have really good deals on horses, actually, so that's super nice. Otherwise, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. And so I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.